Yo, welcome back to Yo Nerd Podcast, the podcast where we talk about nerd culture news, share our opinions, and debate on pretty much anything. I'm Jase.
I'm Zion.
I'm Noah.
And guys, if you're watching on YouTube, we have our very first guest on the podcast.
I'm Larry.
Yes, sir.
Also known as Dad to Noah and I.
Yes.
Got Dad in the house.
Yes.
We had to bring him on for this one.
Of course. So we were talking about the Gladiator II. We saw Gladiator II last night in Hollywood. So much fun. And we asked, I'll call you Larry, I guess. He introduced himself as Larry. We asked him to come on to talk about it because Gladiator is his favorite movie of all time.
Talk about how much Gladiator means to you real quick.
It's the #1 movie of all time. Period.
#1 movie of all time, period. All right.
So a lot of expectations for you coming in. And you grew up with this movie. Gladiator is newer to us. We didn't grow up with it. So we had to bring the expert on. So
there you go. We'll get right into it, guys. We'll do a quick spoiler-free thoughts for those of you who haven't seen it, and then we'll get into the spoilers after. So, Noah, you go first. What do you think?
Spoiler free?
Spoiler free.
I actually really enjoyed this movie. As a person who's only watched Gladiator once a couple months ago, low-key forgot most of the movie. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know who half the characters in this movie were. I had to ask both of them who the girl was because I kept on forgetting. I just knew Lucius. I really enjoyed it, like almost as much as the first. I'm not going to lie.
It was good.
Like, to me, the pacing on this movie was better than the first, like by far. Like it didn't feel like 2.5 hours to me in the movie theater.
I actually... no, hold on. I actually agree. I agree because in the first movie, we'll get into this later. I didn't watch it in theaters. It came out before I was born. But the first one felt at times a little bit slow to me. This one didn't really feel all too slow. I felt like it kept moving at a pretty constant rate. It started off pretty quick, which we'll also get into. But yeah, I agree. I thought this movie, the action was amazing. I will say the plot was weaker than the first film, and that's fine. The first film, I think, had a better plot, better origin for Maximus rather than the origin for Lucius. But yeah, what do you think, Z or Larry?
Spoiler free.
Spoiler free.
It was a grand movie, worthy on the big screens. That's about as spoiler free as I can get.
I'll just add on to that and say I think it's still a good watch. I think it's something that you should go see. It had great characters. It had really great action and like fantastic set pieces throughout the movie. But for me, some of the story elements were weak. Some of the character, it didn't flesh out the characters as much as it should have for me, especially coming from Gladiator, where you very quickly become attached to, at least for me, you become attached to the characters in Gladiator 1 very quickly. The movie is so good at doing that. And I felt like with this being a sequel, it failed in that area for me. So still a great movie, visually stunning, fantastic action, but some of the character and the plot really fell short for me.
That's fair.
So we getting into it?
Let's get right. Let's get right into it.
From this point on, spoilers for Gladiator 2, Gladiator 1, probably random stuff out there. I don't even know. Just spoilers in general. So
yeah.
If you haven't seen it yet, come back to this after you have.
Cool.
So going into the theater, I want to hear from you guys. What were some of your expectations beforehand? Were you expecting this to be on the level of the first one, or did you go with low expectations?
Super low expectations.
Okay.
Just as low as you can possibly get.
Dang.
But it was pretty cool going to the Chinese theater and seeing them recreate the Coliseum in front. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
All the way through, it was like a quarter piece, almost about 25 feet tall. It was really awesome.
Yeah,
that was dope.
That was cool.
Chinese theater is the best theater to go to see these movies.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
We've seen plenty of movies at the Chinese theater.
Yeah, it's just the best.
Sometimes they bring out the cast, or like we went to see Wakanda Forever, and they brought out Angela Bassett. Ryan Coogler was there.
Yeah.
And then we went to see like Doctor Strange there too, and we saw Sam Raimi. Yeah, that was so fun. Unfortunately, guys, we didn't see Denzel Washington, but it's fine.
Black Panther 3.
Black Panther 3 will be there. Yeah. I guess I went in with no expectations really, because I don't really have like the attachment to Gladiator. It's a good movie, like I said, but I mean, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. Let me not disrespect Gladiator. It is a phenomenal movie.
That is crazy.
But I just don't have that attachment to the movie.
Honestly, if you went and saw Gladiator 2 without seeing Gladiator 1, I think you probably think it was a really great movie.
Yeah, I agree.
It was grand. It was big scale, big sets, great actors. It just followed in the footsteps of a historically great movie.
That's completely fair. I feel like if I hadn't seen Gladiator 1, I would have gone into Gladiator 2, because I just recently watched Gladiator 1. I feel like if I hadn't seen that before going in, would have been a phenomenal movie still.
Yeah.
It was good.
That's actually a point I wanted to bring up, because I was thinking that same thing, and like, if you hadn't had the first movie, this would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything it did.
Yeah.
But Gladiator 1 just has like just that level above of quality and like how they did everything that I think it hurts this movie. I think this movie actually hurt being Gladiator 2. I get that you have the history of the characters moving forward, all that. You can't just make a new movie with like the same people, but
Yeah.
I think it hurt it a little bit being Gladiator 2 versus another.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Truth be told, I didn't really like the movie. Wow. If I don't see it again, it's not gonna like mess me up. I honestly did not like it. I thought it was a complete copy of the first one. Most of it. It was a weaker version of it. It was like watching Star Wars Episode 1. I mean, it's Episode 4,
And then watching 7. Yeah.
Where you're like, wow, you did it, and you brought the same feels that made me feel like I did 20 years ago, but it just wasn't as intense. The villain wasn't as intense. You needed 3 of them to substitute for one guy.
That's true.
You know, when he lost his wife, it was in a battle.
Yeah.
When Maximus lost his wife, she was burned and hung, and so was his son.
Yeah.
So it was just like everything was watered down, and it wasn't as strong. But if you never saw Gladiator, it would have been like, oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. But if you watch, Episode 7, 8, and then one day you watch 5, you'd be like, whoa. This was made 20 years ago, and it's still better.
That's fair. Especially with the Star Wars thing, I was gonna bring that up too. Like, a lot of Star Wars fans, right off rip, they said that Episode 7 was like sort of the same storyline. Like, it follows the same like basic storyline. No, I guess. No. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
ready. Here,
yeah.
I can break it down for you.
Break it down in terms for Gladiator.
Okay. No, break it down for Gladiator or Star Wars. Which one do you want?
Gladiator. Go Gladiator.
Okay, so Gladiator, we have a person who basically is coming back from war, kind of, because he was out and about. He gets captured. He gets sold. He fights in the gladiator arena. He goes to Rome. Then he fights again. He tries to get his freedom. He basically finds a relative who gets killed. They overthrow the monarchy or the
emperor.
The emperors. The emperors die. The bad guy dies. And then the army comes back and supports the general. Is that about right?
Main character didn't die.
Main character didn't die. But all right, how's this story? It'd be the equivalent of me saying there's a bad guy and they're looking for the good guys who have information.
Yeah.
The good guys send information about a Jedi. You find a hero on a desert planet who doesn't know they're a Jedi.
Yeah.
The bad guys come looking for them. They escape with the help of a smuggler. Then they
the same exact smuggler.
Then the hero aligns with the old person who they think is their father, who gets brutally murdered by the villain. They blow up the space station, but in the movie you find out there's a new hope, so to speak. It's the same movie.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Now, for those of you who've seen Top Gun, 1986, they did a new one last year or 2 years ago, and it was a different movie 30 years ago. Same feels, completely different movie. That's what they should have done. They didn't make the same Top Gun. Top Gun was so different and everyone loved it.
Yeah.
And Gladiator had a chance to do that and they didn't. They did the episode 7 thing, which is just recreate. And I think that's where it suffered.
Do you guys think that they are trying to create the same storyline to please the fans?
Absolutely. Ask this man about episode 9.
No, don't ask me about episode 9. We're not going there. I'm wondering, like, there's been when did Gladiator release?
2000, right? Was it 2000?
2000.
Okay, so it's been 24 years now. I'm just a little confused about, like, all this time we couldn't have any more innovation. Like, I get what they're trying to do with Lucius following in Maximus's footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
That's his father. He's kind of repeating the same story that he went through. But as far as that goes, we've seen that already.
Right.
Now, I will say they added some elements that were really good in terms of, like, their characters. I totally forget the characters' names. So
no, they're honestly so hard.
To them by the actors.
Yeah.
But you have Pedro Pascal. I actually thought his character was really interesting.
I think, was his name Arrakis? Is that him? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And having a general in the army who is quote unquote loyal to the emperors, but really you find out, like, he's trying to overthrow them, all that. That was really interesting. Having the two emperors, one is, like, developmentally disabled and the other, but they're both, like, hyper into violence and all that.
Yeah.
Having the MVP of the movie, Denzel.
He's so good.
He was crazy. And, like, just the twists and turns of him rising to power, gaining control, that whole plot of him, like, becoming what his enemy wasn't in Marcus Aurelius, like, all of that was really good. So there were elements that were different from the first one, but still, your main story is
the
what's
exact
going
same
on with Lucius.
Yeah.
And it just felt beat for beat the same, but not as good. Like, even in the beginning of the movie, you spend so much time in Gladiator 1 getting to know Maximus and care about him. And he's such a sincere character that when he loses his family, like, you really feel that. And in this one, you have maybe a scene with Lucius and with his wife, and then she dies.
No emotional connection to her whatsoever.
There was none whatsoever.
And
there's honestly not even an emotional connection with Lucius at that point, because you're just getting to, like, that's his second scene.
Yeah.
So Noah, give us some thoughts.
I have two takes on this, and this is why. I do think it's a very similar movie to the first. I think in every aspect, it pretty much falls short. But to me, that doesn't make it a bad movie. That just makes it slightly worse than one of the greatest movies of all time, which is why I still say it's a great movie.
Valid.
And then secondly, I would say in terms of following a similar story, I'm okay with it because to me, it was him finishing what his father started.
Yep.
So he had to go up from the same thing his father had to go through, and then he just had to finish what his father already had. So I didn't mind it being the same. I thought it was fine.
So and you feel the same way, like, with the Force Awakens and New Hope?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That one's a little worse because it's not Luke, one of his kids, having to do the same thing as him.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
It was just a completely different.
Nah, but her name's Rey Skywalker, though.
Hey, Jase.
Stop. So here's the thing I didn't get. I was getting some Black Panther feels in here. Here's why. In the first movie, he was a general. And the general was always second to, obviously, way below the emperor. So when you see my man and he comes in, takes the helmet off, and he's like, I am Maximus Decimus Meridius, you feeling that. You're like, oh, this guy's gonna die. He's dead right there. But he's the emperor. And they surrounded him. You're like, oh, you can't touch the emperor. This one, the dude was the prince. It was his by right.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, I'm doing Black Panther, man. I'm standing up and I'm like, hey, I'm Lucius, Aurelius. This place is mine. You guys don't have any claim.
Yeah.
I had to go away because y'all trying to kill me because I'm the rightful heir. That would have been kind of cool to see play out because he was the rightful heir. And we'll get to the music in a second. No music back the poor guy. There was nothing. I mean, I could have been there in a banjo and it wouldn't have mattered. like nothing. There was no scene where you were like, ooh, I'm feeling that scene. Gladiator, I can name 5 scenes top of my head where you're like, that was the scene. Oh, he took off his helmet. That was the scene. Oh, when they were doing your Pirates of the Caribbean song, that was really Gladiator. On the Barbarian Horde, that was the scene. Obviously, the end when he died, that was the scene. Oh, when when he was talking to his sister about being a busy little bee, when he found out she was, that was one when he told her, "Am I not merciful?" It was just the music on every part of Gladiator 1. It was Hans.
Yeah.
He was behind all of it. This one, nothing accompanied anything. So it was just, it all fell flat.
Yeah. Guys, a couple of weeks ago, we actually had an episode, if for those of you who didn't watch it, on movie scores and our favorite movie scores. We talked a lot about how the music in a movie affects the scene. And it's not just like movies like Gladiator, or it could be anything. Like we were talking about animated movies, and it really affects how much, like how deep a scene in a movie is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now they did run it back. It was who composed this one, Dad? Do you know?
That's the whole problem.
It wasn't Hans Zimmer. I thought the score was decent, and they did run it back with some of the old themes from Gladiator.
Did you like any songs or any scores that weren't a theme from the first one?
Honestly, I can't.
No,
I don't remember one.
I can't tell
They
you
weren't
what.
memorable.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that is fair. I'm just saying they at least brought back some of the old themes.
Yeah.
So
And those were good.
when they
came back, it was fire. When they brought the old music back,
Yes.
that was amazing.
That was my point. Every part of the movie that was great is when they brought the old stuff. When they showed him going through the hay fields at the end, and the music was playing, and Lisa Gerard was singing, and you know, all that stuff. But by the way, another thing that just destroyed me from the start. The start is when they did the Secret Invasion AI beginning. That just threw me off.
You didn't like it?
I did not like it. It just threw. I knew it was a goner from the jump.
That was cool.
It was cool, but it was Secret Invasion cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about Secret Invasion anymore.
This man is really trying to trigger some stuff on the podcast. That's crazy.
So obviously you said you didn't really care for the movie.
No.
Like first immediate feeling when you walked out of the theater, you had the same thoughts?
I mean, if I don't see it again, it would be. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. It comes on ABC. I'll sit and watch it.
But when you were sitting there and the credits roll, what were you feeling?
I was feeling. I'm glad they used the old music from Gladiator 1. That's what I was feeling. I mean, it was it's a good movie, but it compared to the first one, and then what they did. They did the episode 8 thing with my man Luke with the Maximus. They kind of tried to sully his name. If you remember from the first movie, when he meets the princess, and she's like, "Oh, I have a son. He's nearly 8." He goes, "Oh, my son's nearly 8 too." I'm in the movie theater going, "Oh, wait a minute. This guy who is about strength and honor, who you think is the most virtuous man from Gladiator. That's what makes him so cool, because he's this guy who stood up for just justice and whatnot." And now in part 2, I'm finding out, oh man, you cheating your wife.
Yeah.
Both the kids are the same age. So now you're just sullying my dude's name, just like you did with Luke. So it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, man. I'm like, you don't have to stomp on old characters and stomp on their character. That was what made them, was their character. Like, he was a good man, and you just basically poo-pooed on his name.
Yeah.
See, that's how I felt in the theater. That's how I felt.
I actually didn't think about that.
That is tough.
Yeah, I thought it was like before. I didn't realize they were the same age.
That's tough.
Tough for Maximus.
Nah, it's probably before.
No.
He probably went and then married the girl after, while he was out on war.
I don't know.
I don't know
I believe
either,
in
honestly.
Maximus.
I don't know.
So I know we're talking about a lot of criticism, but I do want to know from you guys, who do you think was the best character in this movie?
Denzel.
Yeah.
Denzel for sure.
It was Denzel.
No.
No.
Uh-oh.
No.
Give it to us.
I really like Lucius.
Yeah. That's fair.
Like, me and Jase were getting hyped for Lucius the entire movie.
Nah, Lucius was dropping some bars at the
Bro,
end.
the last 30 minutes for Lucius was like he was going crazy.
When he
Lucius
Listen.
weighed 155 pounds, man.
I don't
mean,
care.
the guy
He was still beating up
these-
demonic baboons,
Yes.
bro. Those are
Yes,
some demonic
man.
baboons. Those are some.
Those things were insane. I
Nah.
was like, never put me near those things.
They straight ripped those out of the Hunger Games Catching Fire. Those baboons were the exact same.
Now, here's what I want to know. I get Rome was advanced back in the day. I know they're advanced. I just want to know how they got the sharks in. I just want to know how they got the sharks into the Coliseum. The water I get the aqueducts and how they got water using the gravity system. I get it. That was really cool. But the multiple, not one shark. Y'all got multiple sharks.
Yeah, there's like 5 sharks in there.
Man, there's like 8 of them, bro. I'm like, how'd you get them in the Coliseum?
Yeah.
That was probably.
Don't ask me.
That made no sense.
I mean, the monkeys didn't make sense either.
I mean, you could capture some monkeys.
Yeah. Not those
weren't monkeys.
Those were not monkeys, bro. No.
They were.
What did you say?
Those were African monkeys.
Stop it.
Because they had the African blow darts. That's how you know. And he was.
Stop it.
And
Stop
Denzel
it.
even said, I was in the African army.
Those weren't no monkeys, bro.
Those are not monkeys. That was a legit like demonic creature. It was like moving like a human, but it was weird. Nah.
Nah, Lucius had aura though. He was scaring that monkey. Literally,
Bro,
yeah.
Yeah, nah. Lucius is like that.
Denzel though.
Oh no, Denzel was phenomenal.
Denzel
Yeah, I mean,
was
he's Denzel, dude.
in his bag.
Yeah.
In this movie,
Yeah.
there were one of my favorite lines in the movie. Horrible line where he's like, "You're filled with rage. It comes out of you like milk." That is the most out of pocket line in the world.
Nah,
If you've seen it, you know. But
he had some lines where I was like, all right.
Yeah, he's a little weird. I ain't gonna lie.
He was a little strange, but like the way he played the character was
so good.
There were so many like layers to him. It was crazy, and he just looked like he was having so much fun.
Yeah, he looked like. Oh,
There goes our poster.
well, we got our poster from the movie last night. Obviously, tape not strong enough. If it happens again, we're just gonna ignore it and move on.
We're good. Yeah.
So, since you guys have seen the first one, there was a development of different characters. So, like, for instance, you didn't see the wife very long, but you felt for her when she died in the first one. She had a word, right? She didn't have a word. The main emperor, Marcus Aurelius, he didn't have a lot of screen time, but he chewed it up. You felt for him. You felt for the black dude that was Maximus's friend, the big buff white dude. It's like you felt for these characters. Did you guys feel the same way for the non-emperor, non-Denzel characters?
For the other gladiators, you mean?
Yeah.
No, they didn't, because they didn't show them at all.
Yeah.
Not for the other gladiators, and that's one area where I thought the movie was a little weak. They did a good job in Gladiator 1 of Maximus developing a community of gladiators. Like, he had his one homie from Africa. That dude was a legend. But then also just you see kind of like he's kind of training them up all together, and he's like kind of directing them, and they really respect him. They tried to do that in this movie, but I was just like, at what point did he gain their respect?
It was like after the first fight.
And
Like,
they were
as
all of a
soon as
sudden
the
just
second
like,
fight, he was the leader.
Lucius.
Are you talking about the fight where he fought the guy, like the fist fight?
I think he had the full respect as soon as they had the water battle.
No,
Like, he was already the
honestly,
leader at that
no.
point.
I think they had his respect when he was rowing the boat by
Yeah,
himself.
Maybe.
That was cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, You think so?
That was just kind of stubborn to me. I'm like, dog, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing
But
all
in
that?
regards to the whole gladiator thing, I would say the first movie had more time to focus on Maximus and his whole journey, because you
That
really
is
had
fair.
Maximus, the emperor, and
This
the
movie
girl.
had a lot more.
This movie had Lucius, Denzel's character, 2 emperors,
The doctor.
the girl, Pedro's. Like, there were so many more main characters that you
Yeah.
couldn't focus as much on Lucius and his journey.
And speaking of Pedro's character, I actually really liked the
Yeah.
general. That was a great addition to the movie. And his whole ending was super sad.
Yeah. I kind of
Like,
felt for him.
I get that he did kill Lucius' wife, or he was responsible for the death of Lucius's wife. But it was like, you saw the behind the scenes that Lucius didn't. So it was tough seeing him go that way.
Definitely.
It really was.
Yeah.
But I thought great characters in the movie. Give me like favorite Lucius moment, favorite Denzel moment.
Favorite Lucius moment. Honestly, the best moment was when he put on the breastplate from that was Maximus's breastplate.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was fun to see.
Nah, that wasn't.
What?
Put it on. It looked like some dude looked like one of my 2-year-old putting on my clothes. It didn't
No.
fit him.
Yes, it did.
He even put on the thing. I watched it today. It didn't know. Best part of the movie is when
He's hating.
he basically the movie was over and he was like, "Help me, Dad," or "You talk to me."
I'd honestly say that's probably my favorite scene.
That's my favorite scene, honestly.
Because it was the whole movie was kind of him accepting his place as like his son and like his place in Rome. So finally, when he like finished his father's legacy, and I was like, talk to me, Dad, and that the music came in. That was fire.
So what was tough about Lucius is that when you saw Maximus, he was already the general. So he was a general. He got the respect. He heeded the respect from everybody. So you're like, okay, we know who this guy is. We know what his skill set is. He's obviously a general. So any of his soldiers that go against him, you know they're gonna die. Just like Pedro, when he went in the arena and those 4 guys came to him, you're like, oh, you guys are meant to meet. You're dead. But Lucius, last time I saw him, he was a little kid. So I didn't know what his skill set was. So to see him fight, you're like, who taught you? Because from what I could tell, like, you're not Maximus. How are you beating these people who are way larger than you?
It's in his blood.
That's right. But it was so that's probably my favorite scene at the end.
Cool.
What was the best battle?
I was thinking about this. I honestly don't know because I don't think it's the battle with Denzel because he should not have struggled that much. First of all, against him.
It was a pretty quick fight, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it was a pretty quick fight, but
it still didn't really make sense. Like Denzel is basically a politician, and then all of a sudden, he got hands. Against the best gladiator in the movie.
He said he was in the African army that represented Rome. He did say that.
He was.
Also, Lucius was just he was just fighting the gladiator thing. Fair. Like he was battling for a while and then chased him down.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think the best battle was actually?
For me, it's between the.
I like the rhino fight.
I was gonna say the rhino fight or the water battle, because I think the water battle was something we didn't see in Gladiator 1. There's no comparison there, and I thought it was really creative. The sharks made no sense, but even still, it's kind of fun. Like, you just see a bunch of fins out of the water, and like those were the most ruthless sharks in the world, by the way. Like
they were going for
dip your pinky
exactly,
in the water,
and they're there, and they're right there.
It was crazy.
That was insane.
Yeah. Any notable battle for you?
It was probably the water scene, only because you saw how much rage he had because he ended up getting the bow.
The crossbow was so cool.
Him, I'm like, he's with your mom, right? Like you could
he did not care.
He did not care.
Well, remember he got bumped.
He had some animal tendencies in this movie. I'm not even gonna lie. Like there were certain moments where he was just feral.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Now back to the monkey scene. So he's fighting the monkey. The demon monkey, right? The demon African monkey.
That ain't no monkey.
And so here's what I didn't get about it. The first movie, when in the Gladiator, Maximus obviously chained to my boy. They beat everybody, so they're the last ones in. So respect. He beat a monkey. Then all of a sudden, the rest of the monkeys just stopped fighting.
He got the respect.
He's the alpha.
No. They all just stopped. They stopped attacking everyone else.
Oh, wait. I just got to bring this up. Because Ridley Scott, he was watching out. There's a scene where he sits down at the table with the other fighters, and they all start making monkey noises. But there were there were two.
That was actually insane.
And they were the only ones not doing this. I was like, Ridley, you dodged a bullet, man.
No, yeah, he. I know he was thinking he was gonna get canceled. I know he was thinking he was gonna get canceled.
Like, hey, good call. They just looked at him like this.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was really bad. My gosh,
that was bad, man.
So funny.
That was hilarious.
Noah, what was your favorite? Sorry, Noah, what was your favorite battle?
I mean, probably the water. I did like the fight with him and Pedro's character, though.
Yeah, that was.
I'm not gonna lie, Lucius got trashed on.
He struggled a little bit too much, multiple different times.
Yeah.
Now, the suit that Maximus had, I don't remember the exact fight he had in the movie, but I do remember it wasn't like completely like spear sword.
It was the one to save his mom, right?
No, it just the one he wore, the breastplate. So I don't know if it was complete, because I remember in sometimes the movie, swords can go through it, especially a straight shot. And my man Denzel literally stabbed him about 10,000 times, and it didn't even budge.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused by that. Like, when did they start making bulletproof shields back then?
The Mandalorian armor.
I mean, even in the Knights of the Round Table days, like a sword could still pierce.
Yeah.
This thing was indestructible.
Yeah, no, it was. He Denzel must have tried to stab him a good 5 times, just
At least.
and just nothing.
It might have been more than that. I was like, dog, aim for a different area.
Yeah, for real.
It was that like classic movie thing where they're like hitting the one area.
Exactly.
The hero has armor.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that.
No, we're not going there. I already know.
Give me the mic. I'm glad you said that. So, in the Batman, there's this.
Nope. The mic is off. Bring it back. You're done.
In the Batman camera, there's a scene where Batman comes off an elevator, and 3 guys have machine guns, and he walks directly toward them. Doesn't try to move left or right directly. Not one of them decides to shoot in his big fat face, where you see all his whole mouth and cheeks and his just shoot him in his face. The movie's over.
I mean, that goes for every Batman.
No, but
They never shoot for the face.
He just said, quote,
Not Batfleck.
Not Batfleck. Batfleck took it straight to the dome.
Batfleck was different.
You can only see his lips through the cowl. All right, everyone, say goodbye to Dad. It's been nice having you.
Bye, Dad.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, this was a good movie.
It was
Does
entertaining.
I don't go into it thinking it's going to be better or on the same level as the first movie. Very entertaining movie. Like I said, the action and the effects, I thought they were great.
Yeah.
The plot, like I said, a little bit weaker, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other final thoughts for Gladiator?
I think the only thing that troubled the movie, if you didn't see the first one, it was the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack, if Hans Zimmer would have done the soundtrack, I think it would have helped bring a little more gravity to some of the scenes and give it a little extra oomph, because it didn't really have a good soundtrack. In a movie this big, this grand, this expensive, it just didn't have that thing to kind of help it, and I think that was missing from it.
that's fair.
No.
Yeah. Nah, I really liked it. I would recommend it. Probably content warning. This thing's violent.
Oh yeah.
Like, for real.
Oh, there were a
Very,
couple.
very
There were a
bad.
couple like scenes or like killings in there that actually made me like cringe.
I had to look away a few times. I'm not gonna lie.
It was
Bad.
ooh
Some rough ones.
yeah. When Denzel got rid of one of the emperors with the what is that thing called in the ear? Oh
Both the Emperor's deaths. Denzel.
oh
The first one.
the first one too.
The Emperors were great characters, by the way. We didn't talk
Yeah.
about it, but I actually really enjoyed their performances.
Oh yeah.
Was it me, or did one of them look like a young Robert Downey Jr.?
Which one? The older one?
Yes.
That was oh yeah. I guess you didn't watch Stranger Things, but that was Eddie from Stranger Things. But
He's Human Torch in Fantastic Four.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
oh
I will say, in terms of the violence, it is a violent movie, and it may look more violent because it's set in realistic terms, a period piece, say what, but we just got done watching Deadpool, and nothing's as violent as Deadpool. So if you've seen Deadpool 1, 2, or 3, it's nothing compared to that, but it looks worse because of the real pieces and things like that.
yeah, for sure,
Absolutely.
definitely.
All right, through magic, we now have our tools for ranking this movie in honor of the Emperor.
For
We're gonna
Rome,
give this movie
the
all at
gods.
once. What is it in the movie?
Mercy or no mercy. But I mean, I guess we'll just the thumbs up is just gonna be good. Thumbs down is gonna be
Mercy or no mercy for Gladiator 2.
the gods have spoken.
3, 2, 1.
Oh no way, Zion for real?
Yo, what are we doing here?
For real?
There's no
I'm
way.
like
No,
right
no,
here.
no,
I'm like
no.
right here.
There's
but
no way.
No
There's no way
way.
you're telling me that's a bad movie.
There's no way.
Well,
that
you
is
just did. You're
not.
saying that's a bad movie.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what it means.
It was a decent movie.
No, then put up. It's a good movie.
No, it's a decent movie, but because it's Gladiator 2, it comes with a different set of expectations.
Well,
I'm sorry. Like, if it was called Coliseum,
Yes.
it'd be...
Yes.
No, but just because it doesn't follow in the footsteps doesn't mean it's worse. Like, it doesn't mean it has to
But
be
we
a bad
have
movie.
to judge it based on...
No.
It's still a good movie, but...
Is Black Panther 2 a good movie?
Yes.
Great movie. Doesn't compare to the first one. Doesn't mean it's not a good movie.
It was insane.
That's debatable.
It's not in the same vein. It's not even close to the first one in no world.
All right, I'm going to leave it maybe right here. I'm undecided.
That's fair.
But for now, I'm going to do this just because it didn't measure up to me.
guys,
And, you know?
yeah, I mean, there you go. I guess. Leave a comment if you guys thought it was a thumbs up.
Because I need to see what.
Oh yeah. No, we're gonna put it on our tiers after. But for now, leave a thumbs up or thumbs down in the comments what you thought of Gladiator 2.
Yeah. And then let's do our ranking. Dad, I think you've seen it before, but we rank movies based on there's 5 levels it could be. So there's Yo, which is the best.
Okay.
A, B, C, and then
Yo, which is like bad. So Yo can be phenomenal or Yo can be terrible. Like for example,
Yo is Gladiator.
Venom 3
Yo is Gladiator.
was a Yo.
Is a Venom 3.
and you can tell which Yo that was.
No, Venom 3 was a
Yo.
Yo.
Yeah.
Venom 3 was a oi. It was so bad you'd reverse it. It was a bad movie. That's how bad it was.
Oh my god.
New ranking. Oi.
Oi's the base, man. Oi's the
Oh man.
Oh, that's
All right,
hilarious.
Jace, start us off.
Me first? Okay. For me, like I said, I don't have a super emotional attachment to Gladiator. Great movie. I would put the first Gladiator in A. Okay? I'm putting Gladiator 2 in B.
Okay.
Enough said. Move on.
I'm gonna put it in B as well. I think it's a nice, like, it's a
How did you give it a thumbs?
This man's
No,
logic.
Noise man just gave it a thumbs.
Nah, that's crazy.
This guy.
because it's a middle of the road movie for me. It's good, didn't live up, but I still enjoyed it, and there's still elements of it that are really high quality.
I'm also gonna probably give it a B.
Oh no.
Guys, what are we doing? No, Zion, you can't even say that doesn't make sense. No, you can't say that doesn't make sense because you just did the same thing.
No. But I haven't been as down bad on it as him.
So here's why. First of all, Gladiator is whatever your highest thing is, your yo.
Yo, yeah.
Like whatever it is the highest it can go to. Period. It's on the same level as any animated movie you like. Facts.
It's
It's
Okay.
not.
Okay. How's it sound? Out of all the movies we talked about today, the Star Wars, the Black Panthers, the Across Spider-Verse, only Gladiators won Best Picture. So let's
All right,
let's
cool.
start.
I don't care
okay,
about
but
Best Picture.
I'm not gonna just
Best
throw
movie.
on Gladiator for fun. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. I would, but I'm just saying. But facts, it's the only one that's won Best Picture. So going past that, this movie, because it's the second one, it's not a spin-off. If this was a spin-off, like Zion said, if this was called I don't know, Roman AD, great movie. But I still have it as a B because it's still a big movie. It's a big movie. It has a big budget. It's still it looks good. It has great actors, so it's gonna be up there. But it just doesn't compare to the first one, and it falls short to me in so many ways. It's a B.
There. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is pretty firmly an A for me. I'm not gonna lie.
And the first Gladiator is
It's in Yo.
okay. Yeah.
It's not the top Yo, but it's in Yo comfortably. This is a step down.
Is there a different type? I thought you said you guys had yo, and then it was A.
Yo.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yo. A, B, C. Then
he's saying within the Yo category,
it's not in the Infinity
It's
War.
not.
It's near the.
it's not
bottom
the
of
best
Yo.
the best.
It's still a great movie, and I think what I said, it's a step down from the first one. So first one's in the top. I'd put it in A.
There you go.
There you go. And next, we're gonna get into our nerd culture news for the week.
All right, so this week in nerd news, first up, we're gonna go back to the Penguin. We covered the Penguin last week, but we missed this. There's a new theory that came out since we recorded that podcast. If you go to episode 4 and you see Dr. Julian Rush, the psychiatrist that was in Arkham that kind of helped Sophia became very weird as the show went on.
Oh my gosh.
Extremely weird. Can't talk about it. In episode 4, you see the inside of his office, and in the background, very vaguely, you can see what looks like a Scarecrow mask and the syringe glove that the Scarecrow wears in the comics. So, a lot of people are speculating that in this universe, Dr. Julian Rush is the Scarecrow, or he will be the Scarecrow. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I honestly I don't know how I didn't think of that sooner. It's literally scare. Like if it's not him,
He's Scarecrow.
he's scared. Exactly what I'm saying. Because Scarecrow, he is a psychologist. He preys on the weak. He makes people scared. Like literally everything that he's doing in the show, like preying on Sophia, making her like manipulating her.
Yeah.
It's
even
literally
using
him.
his light therapy
Exactly.
to kind of delve into someone's past
Exactly.
hurts and their trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting, and I'd love to see what they're going to do with that character in the universe moving forward. Dad, do you have any thoughts?
Is either Scarecrow or I thought he was Hugo Strange for a minute, just because of how long he worked there for and what he knew. Then I got kind of confused when he was tied up like booty butt naked for some reason.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't get that part.
That their
Besides
whole
that
thing
part-
was.
Besides that part, it's awesome because the Riddler, Zion was talking about earlier, it wasn't Edward Nygma.
Mm-hmm.
It was a different name, unless they have an alias. So maybe you might find out later on that he was, Jonathan Crane, but maybe he changed his name to get into a hospital or get into Arkham or get in. So they have a lot of different ways they could do that.
Yeah. I kind of like actually if they change the name because then it leaves us surprised. I think there can be no surprises most of the time in comic book stuff because it's like we know all the characters and their names and everything. So I think it would be a cool surprise, and I think I would love to see, I forget the actor's name, but I'd love to see him continue on in the Batman universe in a larger role as the Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
I just want them to keep filling out this world. Like even if they're not main characters in a movie or a show, keep giving us more of these villains because I love what they're doing with the Rogues Gallery, and I'd love to see them continue to flesh out the world more with more of these like weird kind of, you're getting into actual supervillain territory now. So yeah, I think that'd be dope.
Cool.
Next up, we have the Minecraft trailer. The Minecraft trailer, the official one, came out this past week. Noah, Jase.
Go for it, Noah.
It looks alright. It actually looks better than I thought.
It's going to be funny.
It's going to be really fun. I'm going to watch it just to laugh at it. But
other than that,
yeah,
I'll watch for the laughs. Not much to say about that, though.
I also don't have much to say.
I actually do.
Okay.
Only because I went to see a movie like this with my kids. It's called the Lego Movie. And I went in with the lowest expectations known on the face of the earth. And I walked out with, like, this was one of the best movies I've seen.
Yeah, Lego movie's so goated.
So when I look at Minecraft, I mean, all I see is my kids playing for hours on end, chopping blocks. And I'm like, this is just the dumbest thing. And I'm going to go in with no expectations. And it may be the best movie. Is it come out this year or next year?
Next year.
It may be the best movie next year.
Jack Black and Jason Momoa might be all it needs.
Yeah, don't be surprised if it's the best movie in 2025.
Honestly, I won't be surprised.
Whoa, hold on. There's a lot of movies coming out next year.
Superman's
Fantastic Four, Superman, Thunderbolts, Cat 4.
But all those have expectations. You're going in, and if it doesn't hit those, even if it's a good movie like Noah said, Noah like Gladiator, but there's people like me and my brother, we're like, it's whatever, because we already saw one 20 years ago where we're thinking of what it should be. We can go on a Lego movie. You were like, man, it's about some Legos. That's right. And I came out singing like Taco Tuesday and everything is awesome. And you're like, oh it's stuck in my head. It's like, what are they gonna do for this Minecraft movie? So yes, it won't be as good as Price Superman, but the impact of like what you thought it was gonna be and what it turned out to be, that difference in what you thought in reality are gonna be so. If it's good, it may be a complete just junk of a movie, but I'm hoping it's not.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's hope for the Lego movie effect for Minecraft. Yeah. Another trailer this week, How to Train Your Dragon. We talked about some images that we saw last week, but this week we actually got a full trailer.
Don't do it.
I'll go first. I'll be the most positive. You three are gonna destroy the movie.
No, I'm not.
Okay. It looked like a carbon copy of the movie. It's like they somehow made an exact replica of it. And I know what's in the trailer. I thought it was fake. I thought it was a pirated trailer. I did, because they made Toothless look. It's like they took him and they put him on a green screen.
That's what it's supposed to be.
I actually really like it. I know you're not a fan of this. He wants the story to change up. He thinks it's
No.
That's not what I said.
That's
not what I said.
He thinks it's dumb to make a live action remake without changing things up.
Hold
He
on,
doesn't
let
want.
me speak for myself.
I want it to be a legit 1-for-1.
Yes, I want it to be a 1-for-1
It
too.
is a
I'm
perfect
tired.
movie.
I'm tired of what they ruin movies like The Lion King.
Yeah, I don't need.
Oh my gosh! Stop trying to change stuff up.
If they
I'm
ruin
sorry.
this movie, it's over. I'm done with remakes.
I didn't say I want them to change it up. I just said I don't really know the point necessarily when it's the same movie but just in live action. I get there's an element of it where a lot of people respect live action more, so maybe more people will go see it. But How to Train Your Dragon is already one of the most respected animated movies of our generation, of all time. So if it's just the same thing, like literally the shots in the trailer, I could line up with the animated movie and it looks almost the same, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
It looks really good, but maybe it's just me being tired of Disney's remakes. I'm really tired of all these animated movies being remade. Like, we've gotten so many Disney ones, and literally that's all their slate is moving forward. It's just live action Lilo and Stitch, live action. And I know How to Train Your Dragon is in Disney, but I think that has just kind of soured me on all the remakes of the animated movies. So I'm a little more hesitant to be excited, but it looked quality.
Did you like any of the Disney remakes?
Good question.
Aladdin.
There's only two.
Aladdin
and Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
Aladdin and Jungle Book.
That's
That's it for me.
Lion King.
No.
Beauty and the
Oh
Beast
no,
was
Lion
okay.
King was horrible.
Beauty and the Beast was fine.
Wait. Who said Lion King?
I was just saying the movies. I was saying the movies that Disney has come out.
Hey.
Which ones have come out so far?
Milan.
Mulan was awful.
Let's not even get started on that.
Mulan was awful.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So Lion King, Mulan.
They
What
did,
don't
like
you guys like
Cinderella.
about-
They had Little Mermaid.
What don't you like?
I actually didn't. You guys didn't like Little Mermaid? I thought Little Mermaid was pretty good, except for. Actually, let me not.
What?
All right. So
Except
You know what, bro?
So
I'm sorry, Aquafina. You just gotta retire.
dang, Aquafina. Hey, I just want to know, my man. There are seven daughters,
And they all look different.
I'm just saying, man. Come on now.
It's yeah.
King Triton got around.
Yeah.
he- Navigating the 7 seas.
Come on. So you guys don't like when Disney makes remakes? Why specifically? Except for Lion
I'm
King.
fine with
Because
them.
Lion King, no offense, it was almost the same movie except for just a couple of things. It was literally,
But it
almost the
didn't
same.
look good. It looked terrible.
No. The CGI looked good, but
The
it was
face.
too good
Yeah.
to where it's literally like they put a camera on an animal and it can have no emotional expression
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
I always talk about in Lion King. I'm watching the live action remake.
You
It's the
you
scene where
rewatched that?
Mufasa- No. When I first watched
Oh.
it, it's the scene where Simba goes to Mufasa after he died. He's like, Dad, you okay? And literally, and it's a real animal. I get it. Like they tried to make it real, hyper realistic.
Yeah.
But when there's no emotion, it's just like this. It's like, Dad, are you okay? Dad, wake up. It's like there's no. It was just weird.
I thought it was cool. I mean, it did look like the lions had Botox, but it was almost like you're seeing, oh, this is a authentic movie. This is how a lion would look. But when it comes to How to Train Your Dragon, you can't make Toothless look like a real dragon because it wouldn't be toothless. So you have to keep him fully CGI. So when you do that, I guess the question is, do you think the CGI versions of movies should even be made? Because my thing is, if you can't show, like, I don't know what the word would be. It's almost like I bring up Avatar. Leave it cartoon because you can never have that much, like, have a guy wielding that much power in a real movie. It just won't look the same.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at these movies, how good is Toothless gonna look? Are you gonna have that massive dragon from the end? You know?
Oh my gosh, I didn't even
That's
think
gonna
about
be so
that.
tough
I'm
to
just saying,
make.
but all those things, and it looked good. So I don't know, but if they,
The CGI looked good to me.
I'm excited.
But I don't know. I'm of the state of where it's like, if I've seen the movie already, what difference does it make if it's in another medium?
Slap action.
I
It's gonna
get
be
that,
sick,
but
dude.
I mean, it's still the same story, and it was still done in a beautiful way. I get if you have a movie, maybe it's really dated, and it's kind of like dated to the point where it's a little hard to watch. Sure, then make a live action remake, whatever. But we just How to Train Your Dragon came out. I don't know. I guess it was kind of a while ago, but
You guys like Aladdin? You guys like Aladdin?
Yes, the live
Better than the
action.
original.
That's insane. You might have to leave for that one. Better than the original is actually
Better than
crazy.
the original.
Anyhow, so you guys liked Aladdin, right? And you guys like the Little Mermaid ish.
No.
I liked it.
So I'm
Personally.
saying everyone complained about the main star because they changed her complexion, her culture.
Yeah.
Same thing with this new one with the Astro Girl. She's not blonde. She has.
I actually have a problem with that one. I didn't have a problem with Little Mermaid because it's a fictional character that lives underwater. So a mermaid. I don't care.
Those Astro. No one's.
She's a Nordic Viking.
That's fake.
dude, they're walking around with
You think
dragons.
Vikings are
and-
fake? Yeah, I know that part's fake, but they're based in if there was a dragon movie, but it was set in an African tribe, are we just gonna change people's? No, I'm asking. It's a legit question.
Yes. Okay. So
It would be wrong then.
if
That's
there-
all I'm saying.
if there was
So
a fictional movie that was made animated, yes, you can do what you want because it's fictional.
No, but there's fictional pieces, but it's set in a realistic world where they're living in they're Vikings. So if there was an African tribe, you wouldn't change it just because there's dragons. It's fictional. They can be whatever they want. Let's be realistic. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying though.
I only have problems changing characters like ethnicities if it's part of the culture.
That's fair.
That's
I'm
fair.
Just
You're not
saying,
gonna-
you
don't change
know.
Tiana's. That's part of the culture. So
That-
don't change Astrid. It's part of the culture.
I mean,
think
it's fair.
I think it's just a matter of are we being inclusive because we want to or because we have to? It's like
It feels a little bit like pandering sometimes.
that's what I'm saying.
But I always try to think about it in terms of just the actor themselves. Once it's happened, they're in the movie. Like
Yeah.
we can complain and stuff, but if I was cast in a movie and people literally just said because of my race and ethnicity, like, oh, it's a diversity casting, DEI, all that kind of stuff, not to trigger people,
Yeah.
that would suck. And so that's my only thing where I get what you're saying. It is valid in terms of the culture. And there's some questions behind the scenes that I would have of why did this happen? But if it already did,
Question.
I mean, that's a person, They have that.
No, respect
role.
to her. I think she's gonna do a good job.
I think she's gonna do
I don't have
a
a
great
problem
job.
with her. It's just why did you do that?
So we'll see when it comes to the movie.
I think she'll do great.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great movie.
As long as it's not like Katara from either one of the Airbending movies.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Stoic, Stoic looks great. Stoic looks phenomenal.
Stoic.
It's the same guy, dude. That's
Stoic.
so
It's the
cool.
guy from 300.
Yeah.
He looked.
That's
literally
Leonidas.
spot on.
That's Leonidas from
Yeah.
300. So yeah, he's gonna do phenomenal.
Yeah. How to Train Your Dragon trailer looks promising. We'll see when it comes out. Final piece of news. We have one more. Kevin Feige has confirmed recently in a few interviews that there are more mutants coming in the MCU. He said there are ties to mutants and possibly even mutant characters in their upcoming films. So we have a few confirmed coming up. Captain America 4, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. We don't know exactly which movies. He didn't say which mutants, but he has said there are confirmed mutants in these movies coming up. And then he clarified that after Secret Wars, Avengers 6, that will make way for the era of mutants in the MCU. Quick thoughts on this. Is this how you would have had it happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's already too many characters. I don't need more characters for the next two Avengers.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
They have a lot going on, so I think it's best that they wait a little bit.
Which mutants do you guys want to see in these movies? If you were to have any enter the MCU now and be in Secret Wars, I think the two that we have right now that would probably be confirmed are Deadpool and Wolverine.
You don't think Gambit or Human Torch?
Get Gambit out of here.
Dang.
Get Gambit out of here. Channing Tatum's.
Okay.
He did a good job in the movie, by the way. All respect. But I really hope, there's been talk that Marvel is really interested in him being Gambit. I just don't want that. I just don't think it works. But
yeah,
I'm trying to think of these movies and like, if they go a certain direction in Fantastic Four, if Sue and Reed already have a son, their son Franklin is actually a mutant. So that could be one of them. I don't know what they're thinking moving forward. Any ideas as to
give us Jean Grey.
I could see them doing something where they introduce Charles and Magneto in this phase and have it just be these two that we know. And then post Secret War, like, don't even include them in Avengers stuff. I'm just saying we at least know they exist. And then post Secret War, you start to see the development of the school and like all that. I don't know. That's how I would like it to happen. I don't want to just see a million mutants everywhere. I want it to build out slowly.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. Cool.
So, that's it for the news this week. Next up, we're going to go to wrap up.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching this episode of Yo Nerd. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed our guest we have here dropping some knowledge about Gladiator movies that came out before. Yeah. We really enjoyed having you here, so thank you for joining us today. We enjoyed your company. We enjoyed your thoughts. And like always, guys, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Leave comments. And we will see you guys next week with a surprise episode. See ya.